Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I have no doubt in my mind that most of you have heard about the CDL audit that is set to take place in the near future. But did you know that a similar audit actually already happened in 2002? It shocked the hell out of me. So not only are we going to touch upon the audit that is set to happen, but we'll also look at the results of an audit, a very similar one that happened 23 years ago. Ready? Let's go! All right, first and foremost, let's talk about what is happening now. On September 19th, the Office of the Inspector General posted a memorandum stating that an audit is about to take place. More specifically, this memorandum started with the fact that the FMCSA is responsible for reducing crashes, injuries, fatalities involving large commercial motor vehicles, and one way to do this is through the Commercial Driver's License Program, which, and it states here, aims to reduce the number and severity of crashes nationwide by verifying that only qualified drivers possess a CDL. The memorandum continues to say that the purpose of an audit is to ensure that states are complying with the skills and knowledge tests required when issuing CDLs, and that the audit is set to begin in the next few weeks. Now, what surprised me, and thank you to FreightWaves for pointing this out, is that a very similar audit already took place in 2002 following security concerns after 9/11. So an audit was conducted to ensure the effectiveness of CDL programs. What did they find? Quoting here, existing federal standards and state controls are not sufficient to defend against the alarming threat posed by individuals who seek to fraudulently obtain CDLs. So let's go through the findings, some of the big ones. Number one, they found that from 1998 to 2002, there was suspected fraud identified in 16 states with over 900 drivers in Illinois and Florida, where drivers potentially obtained fraudulent CDLs and then transferred them to other states. Then they also found that in the year 2000, a third-party examiner was accused of selling over 500 CDLs. Selling, not testing, selling, actually taking bribes and selling CDLs. Number two, they found that only 4 of the 13 states that the FMCSA visited had laws requiring applicants to demonstrate that they are citizens or legally present in the United States, and only 1 of the 13 states required proof of residency. Number 3, none of the 13 states visited conducted audits or reviews to support their annual certifications. Number 4, the FMCSA also pointed the finger inward at themselves, stating that the FMCSA did not routinely monitor data on licensing transactions. And once they checked those transactions, they realized that there was one state in particular, it wasn't named, at least I didn't find which state it was. That state did not enter data for 30,000 new CDLs in the national database for a period of 20 months when the regulatory requirement is for, or was, for a new CDL to be entered into the system within 10 days. In short, the FMCSA found, and again, this was for the 2002 audit, that around 200 drivers obtained fraudulent CDLs in Illinois and transferred those licenses to 20 other states. 700 drivers got fraudulent CDLs in the state of Florida and transferred it to 32 other states. And finally, they found a third-party examiner who sold 500 CDLs. That's not all. In 2001, a third-party examiner in the state of Ohio who administered driving tests to over 200 applicants tested those applicants only for 10 minutes when the state standard was at least a 60-minute test. And then there's this part, and I bring it up because a lot of folks mistakenly think that English language proficiency or the news surrounding it is something new. It is not. ELP was established in 1937, and it was mentioned in this audit report as well. And we'll go through this because the FMCSA proposed to take the following action. Number one, ensure that CDL applicants demonstrate a legal presence in the United States. Number two, ensure that the applicant demonstrate residency in the state in which he or she is trying to obtain a CDL. Number three, they recommended that a verification before issuing a CDL, there should be a verification of the social security number provided by the CDL applicant. Number four, there was something about establishing training and qualification requirements for those CDL examiners. Number five, then there's the ELP, and I'm going to quote this whole thing. The federal standard for motor carrier safety requires carriers to ensure that their commercial drivers are able to read and speak the English language sufficiently to converse with the general public, understand highway and traffic signs, respond to official inquiries, and make reports and records. However, the federal standard on CDL testing and licensing does not place any requirements on the states to test for language proficiency. Again, this is back in 2002. The FMCSA goes on to state in this report that they allow CDL knowledge tests to be administered in different languages, and that 8 of the 13 states visited were allowed to use interpreters for knowledge tests. Driving tests were also administered in foreign languages in 2 of the 13 states that the FMCSA visited during this audit. At that point, the report states that the FMCSA announced it was considering a revision of the standard in 1997, but no draft or final standard has been issued. So this whole idea of English language proficiency being tested before even issuing a CDL to an applicant, this has been going on since 1997 at least, but the FMCSA did not follow up. So why am I showing you this, or why am I making a video about an audit that happened 23 years ago? This is to show you that the current situation is not new. This is something that has been brewing for decades at this point, and the only thing that's different now is that people are at their boiling point. Plus, we also have social media, which makes it very easy for folks to know and keep up with what is going on. But the fact that we have this 2002 report, the fact that it is public, the link is going to be pasted in the description box, and considering the fact that that report pretty much details all the issues that are still relevant 23 years later, perhaps this report is going to put pressure on the FMCSA to do better with the audit this time and actually address the issues so that they don't come up in another 23 years. Personally, I'm very curious to see what the current 2025 audit will show and to see the similarities. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of similarities. I'm curious to see what recommendations the FMCSA gives this time. But question for you guys, did you know that this audit, a similar audit, happened in 2002? Because that was news to me. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining and watching today. I hope you have a fantastic start to your week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep learning. See you in the next video.